Are herx reactions or diet symptoms keeping you from cleansing? Don't worry, because I got some tips and tricks that will minimize those, so you do not have to be nervous. So, did I myself have herx reactions? Absolutely I did. And I'm going to tell you a little horror story. I sent myself to the hospital. Then, when I got out, I had to figure out why that happened. And that's when I actually learned how parasites work and that they poop inside of our bodies and regurgitate all of the stuff that they have inside of them. So if you've ever had mold, toxins, fungus, bacteria, yeast, pathogens, viruses, a disease, that's in the parasites. And when they get mad and feel like they're under attack, they regurgitate it back out into your body. Then your lymphatic system, which is your immune system, has to try to figure out how it's going to deal with all of the stuff all at once, okay? You have hundreds of thousands of parasites regurgitating at the same time, and now your body's like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And that's when you get herx-like reactions. Okay, so for me, when I did this, I was just eating the foods that they didn't like, because I just like knew that it was parasites, and I just started looking up like foods they didn't like, and I was taking like papaya seed smoothie, diatomaceous earth, stuff like that. I was like, oh, I have a pain in my neck. Cracked it, and within a few seconds, the crack had nothing to do with it. The doctors were like, oh, you pinched something. Okay, anyways, besides the point. An immense pain went to my head. I couldn't see. I was throwing up violently. My head literally felt like it was going to explode. I ended up taking a nap after that. I woke up from the nap. It all started again. I was screaming like I could not. I felt like my head was literally going to combust. And at this point, I had been in pain for years. Like severe chronic pain, okay? And this was the worst pain I have felt because it was in my head, like explosion of the head. And I had brain fog and pain in my head before. This was just different, weird, okay? I go to the hospital. I was there for 3 days. The pain ended up going from my head to my tailbone to where I couldn't walk, and I walked like I just rode a horse, like the saddle legs. Okay, so I get out of the hospital, all right? This happens again. The pain, I started coming back to my brain, and I was like, oh no. And then I went to my holistic doctor, started throwing up again. It wasn't bad as the first time, but it was still really bad. I went to my holistic doctor. I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital again. They've got nothing for me, right? So I go to the holistic doctor, and she's able to give me some things, and it cooled my brain down within like 30 minutes, and then the pain went back to my tailbone the next day. And then it tried to happen a third time, but I was like, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus, right? Then I was on a mission to learn all about parasites and why this was happening. So I learned about it. I wasn't taking a binder. Well, I was taking diatomaceous earth, which is a binder, but I don't like to consider it a binder, and it's not one I say that you should take unless you're going to take it with another binder. Diatomaceous earth just grabs on to the toxins and moves them around your body, trying to find open lymph nodes, and that's not the greatest because your lymph nodes are probably clogged because you're cleansing right now. So instead, activated charcoal is my favorite. I have it in my Amazon storefront. I also get it from Mrs. Rogers' Hood. She puts ceylon cinnamon and activated charcoals in hers. You can buy just the binder from her website, also in my stand store. But you don't have to be scared. I go through everything in my PDF called Take Your Health Back in Your Own Hands. Find it in my stand store. Definitely consider getting that. Watch all my content on TikTok and YouTube. You don't have to spend money on the PDF. You can find all the information on TikTok and YouTube. It's just gonna take you some hours. And you have to open your lymphatic system, change your diet, work on releasing trauma, and then you can start parasite cleansing. But you can't start parasite cleansing until you have a binder, because you absolutely have to have a binder, and your binder should be by your nightstand, in your car, at work, every room that you can find one, just in case something happens. Just in case. I like to be prepared, but I would definitely consider getting my PDF, not because I make money from it, but because it is going to help you tremendously on cleansing and being prepared to cleanse, and things to do if you do have herx reactions. And everyone's probably going to have some form of a herx reaction, but we're looking to minimize it and just be like, oh, I have a lot of mucus. Oh, my head hurts just a little bit. Oh, I'm feeling a little achy. Not, I need to go to the hospital. And everybody that has gotten my PDF and has worked with me, one person went to the hospital, and that's because he didn't listen to a word that I said. He did everything himself, but he was constantly calling me and booking calls with me. He didn't do it. So he doesn't even count, okay? He doesn't even count. So I would like to say that I have 100% track record on nobody having to go to the hospital because they do it correctly. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I love you guys. Happy healing.